Hello, everybody, and welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony, and join with me today are the other three fine eating establishments in my mall food court. Fellas, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, starting with the free samples. Come get your free samples, Jared.
What's going on, guys? Armo's checking in. My place in the mall that's it's a staple of every mall would be Auntie Anne's Pretzels.
Fuck!
I knew it.
You gotta get them.
That was yours, Alec. That's what you didn't think that was going to be mine.
Bro, it's an
You didn't think anyone would say that?
It's an absolute rule, bro. If your mall does not have an Auntie Anne's, it's not a mall.
I agree.
100%.
We were talking before this podcast started, and Jared was like, I'm going to go for the steal. I think I know what Dan's going to say. Apparently, we were all going to say it.
No one's going to pick this, bro. No one's going to pick it.
And he was like, no one's going to pick
There's
mine.
7 of them in every mall in America. Like,
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I am Dan. I play Minnis Pebblewalker, your tiny little swarm keeper ranger. And I am the Dippin' Dots of
Yeah,
this
that was my
food
runner
court.
up.
Is it really?
Yes, dude. That was gonna be my one.
Wait,
I love
what?
Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, it's ice cream the shape
No, I know what it is,
Oh.
but your mall has a place just for Dippin' Dots?
No, it's
Never
just
seen
like a
them?
little cart. Just a little cart. You just
Ooh,
go up.
some actually have little storefronts.
Yeah, I'm
Depends on where
going to
you
go
live.
ahead and just not count it, Cotton. Sorry.
No, that was my number one before I was.
What
going for the
flavor,
steal.
Dan? What flavor?
there's 2, so choose wisely.
Yeah,
There's
don't be
more.
wrong.
There's more.
There's
than
only 2 good ones, excuse me.
Oh,
little cookies and cream.
That's the one of the 2. The other one's
Yeah,
rainbow.
that's not. You what? No, the other one is chocolate. Straight up,
chocolate
dude.
is the best one.
Yeah,
Chocolate-
that's
chocolate's so
ripping,
good.
saying rainbow. The
Rainbow. Oh my god.
It's not even a flavor. It's just a color scheme. All right. My name is Alec. I play Drell of the Ashbourne, and my other favorite place to eat at my mall is Charlie's Steakery.
Yeah, dude.
Go get yourself a nice Charlie's.
Like fire
cheese
picks
steak.
that we got.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Charlie
So
Brown's,
good.
right?
Yes.
It's the full name
You
is
got one
Charlie
right near me.
Brown's.
Like 5 minutes away. Maybe less.
Maybe.
Dude,
Maybe.
Charlie Brown's.
I love that place. They used to have them here, and they got rid of them all. It's so sad. That was like my go-to place. Oh, love that place.
What about you, Tony?
Mine is gonna be Nathan's. I love me a good Nathan's.
All right.
Interesting.
Wait, what is that? I don't know what that is.
Nathan's Hot Dogs.
Hot dogs.
Oh, no.
For the ones that sponsor the hot dog eating competition.
Mm.
Yeah.
We also don't have it on the West Coast, which is why I think it's a regional pick.
All right, fair. Yeah, definitely a regional pick, yeah. Because I think the first one is open up in Long Island. No, Coney Island, I think.
Coney Island, where they have the hot dog eating
Don't
competition.
quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's Coney Island was the first
It
Nathan's.
is. It's where they have the hot dog eating competition because of that.
But yo, you get crinkle cut fries from there, and they give you a little red pitchfork. It's great. It's my favorite. I used to collect them. I was a fat kid growing up. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and roll for the recap. You know the deal. Before we roll for the recap, we're gonna do the rundown. And today's rundown is brought to you by Alec.
All right, so for today's rundown, I want to go ahead and plug the Twitter. Social media is super important, and it, supporting us
What's Twitter?
benefits us in, ways you guys have no idea. So if you can, go on Twitter and follow us. And it's Twitter, or I know Tony's going to correct me and say X, but it's twitter.com
X.
/DND pod 404.
Oh, I was like, what's Twitter, dude?
Twitter is the XX.
Okay.
He did it.
All right, now you know the deal. We're gonna go ahead and roll for the recap, where I roll a giant rubber D4, where I am number 1. 2 is Daniel. No. 2 is Alec. 3 is Daniel, and 4
in
is
The
Jared.
channel.
It's funny because I have it right in front of my face too.
I just want to point this out. So we just did a Discord cleanup of our we have a private Discord that we keep all our notes and stuff in, and Tony just found out that it has everyone on there. So he could have been looking at it every week, but hilarious.
Okay, I don't know why I'm being attacked right now. Okay.
Not being attacked.
I got to act.
You're being exposed.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, we're going to go ahead and roll for the recap. I got the oh, right. Okay, I got the camera on. Oh, shit, went down the stairs. I lost it! I don't know where it went!
1 millennia later.
It physically makes no sense where it could be. It's just every door in my hallway is closed.
Share my screen. We're going to roll it on Google.
I'm going to send you guys a video after this. It physically makes no sense where it could possibly go.
Whatever pops up first. I click roll D4. You watching?
Yes.
I know. That's how we got to do it. Rolling a D4 on Google. Let's go.
Hey, wait.
There's a 1.
No.
I'm kidding.
Thought.
It's me.
Good old 3.
If I rolled it again, it would have been a... Okay.
The dice have spoken.
Dice has spoken. Dice hates me right now. But if we rolled it again, it would have been Alec.
You know what? I like that dice, actually.
All right, I'll do this like a noir film.
Enter a dame.
Our heroes were walking around the Kimbuki Isles, see, when they happened upon a sleeping broad. But this wasn't no normal broad. This was a giant broad. The Bloodshard Bandits thought, what harm could there be in waking her up? So Chrome Dome over there with the lightning tats gave her a push. And let me tell you, there have been better days than waking that giant. Cause you see, Alma was a bit of a yuck, like a buzz-guzz bug buckling after a bender. She talked like a whistling Dixie and nearly had Minnis snapping his cap. But she said she was part of the LBGT, and she was looking for her leafy-haired companion from the LBST, the Lord Baron Guard and Scout Troop for long. Now Alma got chummy with Minnis, and they got on their way. Gem dinos roamed the jungle of the ruby, emerald, and sapphire variety. They didn't give our friends here too much trouble, but soon they ran into a long-necked dino with bloodshard gems getting its fix on a T-Rex. Armus and Reginald were looking at that thing like a cacky-wacky drooling over a dreamboat dime. They all agreed to attack, and just as things got buzzing, they found Alma's orange elf friend. Stick around, cause the story's heating up. Take it away, Bard.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the world of Humbrea, featuring 3 first-time adventurers and 1 very patient DM. This is DND404. Fellas, boyos, welcome to session 87. We are going to pick up today's session in the midst of combat as the 3 of you, with your new compatriot, Anma, a fellow stone giant, are now facing down a Bloodshard Longneck. As the 3 of you charge in, Minnis riding on Anma's back, Drell slides underneath the massive Bloodshard Altasaur into a thick brush where he met Reece, an Autumn Eladrin, part of the LBST, who was hiding from the massive Bloodshard dinosaur. We are going to pick up today's session at the top of the round on initiative 18, which is Armos. The last action this dinosaur took was charging at you, in which it stomped you and did a massive amount of damage to you. This thing is gargantuan in size.
I'm going to do... If I do like a perception check possibly to see if there's possibly a weak spot on this guy.
Yeah, go ahead and use your bonus action or your movement action to try to make a perception check.
And it's rolling a 21.
With a 21, as you stand at the base of this Altasaur, from what you can see, the blood ore is all along the top side of its back, and it's like jutting out like massive spikes. The bottom part, the underbelly of the dinosaur, is all made of looks like very tough, scaly flesh. From the underbelly, you don't notice any visible weak spots. As a matter of fact, you think the opposite. It might be kind of hard to cut through this thing if you're not strong enough.
Seeing that there's no impervious spot on its underbelly and knowing that most of my spells are kind of direct damage, I go to cast Mental Prism. You attempt to bind a creature with an illusionary cell that only it perceives. One creature you can see within range must make an intelligence saving throw. The target succeeds automatically if immune to being charmed. On a successful save, the target takes 5d10 psychic damage and the spell ends. On a fail, the target takes 5d10 psychic damage, and you make the area immediately around the target's space appear dangerous in some way. DC 18.
DC 18. Let's see if it passes. It passes with a natural 20.
Wow.
As you cast this spell, so you notice something when you go to cast this spell. You know the spell lands, and it's definitely taking this psionic damage. However, as it negates the negative effects of that spell, as it passes its saving throw, you notice that the blood or vein shines in reaction to your spell. So it's just going to take the full damage.
5d10, so it took 36 damage.
Ooh, that's a good amount of damage. What else are you doing?
Since I'm right next to the mofo, I'm sure this thing has opportunity attacks, but since he's so large, what is the actual range I can move towards Drell, or like, you know what I mean, away from it before I get an opportunity attack? Is that
if you move away from any creature, they can take an attack of opportunity on you.
So I don't want to move away, I just want to move around.
Yeah, we'll say that's fine. You could definitely move around it while not leaving its space. Sure.
So since the thing charged forward, I just want to get to its side.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a move.
I step to the side so that I can get a good look at the blood shards on its back. That is my turn.
Oh, it looks so bright and red. Full of souls almost.
After getting a good glimpse of it, I get like, you know, my eyes dilate and just get real big.
Reginald's eyes are also dilating with you simultaneously, and it's like, all the souls of everything it's ever eaten just floating around in there almost.
Be a shame if, you know.
Oh, we should hit that. We should hit that. As we move to initiative 14, which is the Bloodshard dinosaur, and it is going to make 3 attacks. It's going to make 2 stomp attacks. So Anma and Armos, you are both in range, as it's going to make 2 attacks. So it's a 33 to hit Anma and a 16 to hit Armos. And those attacks are going to do... Armos, you're going to take 41 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, wish I wouldn't have picked Pierce.
As this thing rears its leg and then kicks you. You're also going to make me a strength saving throw with DC 22.
Okay. Well, let's hope I get a 20. I got a 20!
Oh, you are not knocked prone. You get donkey kicked by this giant dinosaur, and you manage to hold your ground.
That's great.
By the way, I have a 8 or like -1 strength, so that's the only way I could have succeeded.
Anma took the same amount of damage, and she is bleeding from the mouth. She looks fine. She looks healthy, but that was significant damage for her. And then with the third attack, it's going to swipe its tail as a cleave, trying to hit anything behind it, which is going to be Reece and Drell. That's a 32 to hit Drell.
Misses.
Oh, well, if it did hit, it's going to deal 41 points of damage, and you are pushed back 20 feet. And as you're talking to Reece, he introduces himself as Reece, and he goes to shake your hand, and he goes, "Pleasure to meet you, mate. Let me go ahead and take this guy down, huh?" And then at that moment, when you go to shake his hand, boom, the tail comes across and swipes both of you. You both get knocked back 20 feet.
Ow.
And then Minnis and Armos, you see from the other side of the dinosaur, just Drell and this Autumn Elijah going, ah, as they get knocked back 20 feet.
All right, Alma. Keep attacking this thing, okay? We got this. And I'm gonna shoot a 3rd level guiding bolt at this thing, just to try and get some damage on it, and see if the
Damage.
light does anything.
Hoth.
That is a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
And it's going to take 25 points of radiant damage. Ooh. I'll use a favored foe to mark it and do an extra 4 points of damage as well.
As the SIDS rise up and favored that foe for you.
Do my SIDS... I don't think my SIDS do anything on a spell attack.
I'm going to have to refer to you on that one. I don't know.
I thought you said they do like 50 damage or something.
Oh yeah, 50 extra damage on my...
They're just all jacked with hella knives.
Yeah.
And this one heard Sid pointing. He's like, meh, that's the one. Pointing at the dinosaur. Okay, yeah, so you favorite foe, and you want Anma to attack
It
it?
just says with an attack, so 3 points of Sid damage.
Wow.
Is it resistant to Sid damage? Or
It is not resistant to Sid damage.
as I'm shouting at Anma, Anma, you got this, I believe in you.
Anma swing! And you see that she takes her giant steel club on your initiative as well, attacking with you, and it kneecaps the thing and is going to hit. Wow, it got a 21 to hit as it kneecaps the giant dinosaur, dealing. Oh, man.
Wow.
It kneecaps the dinosaur, dealing 19 bludgeoning damage as it smacks its giant steel club against one of its massive knees. And you see that she's going in a blind rage. She's going to go ahead and swing again, getting a 19 to hit, dealing another 14 points of damage as she's just wailing on the knee. And then you see that the dinosaur is reacting to those attacks. It's like trying to move its foot very slowly out of the way. Minnis, is that the end of your initiative?
Yeah, sure is.
We're going to move to initiative 10, which is one of these emerald velociraptors that almost blew away in the last session and is going to just use its turn to run back into the patch of grass as it dives back in and hides itself amongst the brush. And we're going to move to initiative 4, which is Drell.
Nice. What's Reese's initiative again?
How we're doing NPCs this fight, they go on one of your initiatives.
Okay.
So like either you, Armos, or Minnis can tell an NPC what to do. You can tell them to attack, heal, support, run away, etc. And that will roleplay their move out.
Okay.
And they'll go on your initiative.
Cool. So I just got knocked back with Reece, and I think as I'm pulling out my Giant Slayer Greatsword, I look over at Reece. What kind of instrument do they have?
You see that he has an array of instruments. He has his lute at the ready, but you see that he has a hand drum. He has a flute at his side. He has like 3 other type of lutes like ready to go. It looks like he's a master of all instruments. He even has a little triangle ready to go.
So I'm gonna look at Reece and say, "Hey, are you any good with that lute?"
Oh, just wait for my solo. And he goes, "Ding."
Well, then play me a sick beat. And I'm just gonna sprint towards the long neck with my Giant Slayer in hand. I'm going to take 2 attacks.
So do you want him to give you Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah, let's just see if he can give me Bardic. That's really what I was going for when I was asking him to do that.
He takes out his lute and he does a little sick little lute solo and he goes, Goliath! And you feel yourself inspired as you now have Bardic Inspiration, which is, the die you're gonna be using is
D12, 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 D12.
1d10.
Fuck. Okay, that's fine. I hopefully shouldn't need anything more than that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my first attack. That is I would also like the bonus action go into a rage.
Yeah.
So I'm getting myself hyped up by the music that Reece is playing. That's gonna be an 18 to hit on my first attack.
That hits.
Sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and take a secondary attack. And that is a 28 to hit.
That will also hit.
Sorry, I'm going to tell you how much damage I'm going to roll here in about 10 minutes. Give me a second.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Yeah.
Goliath! Reece didn't say anything about hair metal, but that's what he's going to be now.
Okay, so that is going to be 45 damage with my 2 attacks.
Damn!
I would also like to spend a superiority die on that, in which I would like to use one of my new maneuvers. So I'm going to be doing a distracting strike. So it says when you hit with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to add to the total damage. And then also the next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than you has advantage if the attack is made before the start of your next turn. And that's also 7 additional damage. And that is going to be my turn.
Awesome. As Reece uses his lute to inspire you, you go ahead and you land these devastating blows, and you notice that you wounds him. The blood that drips out of its body is this tealish color. We're gonna move to the top of the round. Initiative 18, Armos.
So I'm gonna Misty Step straight back from where I am from the monster. So if the monster's, I'm kind of on the side of the monster, so Misty Stepping back, which would be a bonus action.
Okay.
30 feet.
You misty step back 30 feet towards the large body of water, and you notice that the base of your feet are now submerged as you find yourself in this muddy terrain. You're on the edge of this pond.
Yes. So Drell's thing that he did, do I get that if I cast spells, or is that just for regular attacks?
It's any attack. Yeah, so you'd get advantage.
Oh, fucking hell, fucking yes. Oh my God.
On every single Eldritch Blast.
I've been waiting for this opponent. Okay. I see that Drell's distracting strike hits the monster and leaves him open for a chance for me to cast a really big spell. I misty step 30 feet away. I turn, and with a very pointed finger, I look at his back and cast Finger of Death.
What?
On the back of this monster.
Okay, what does Finger of Death do?
What is that?
I am interested and a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried.
You send negative energy coursing through a creature that you can see within range, causing its searing pain. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. It takes 7d8 plus 30 necrotic damage on a fail, or half on a successful.
Holy
A humanoid target
Scheiße.
killed by the spell will turn into a zombie, basically under my control. But
permanently.
Okay. So this, you wouldn't roll with advantage here because it's a saving throw.
True.
So attacks made, yeah, so when you roll for an attack.
fine.
Okay, that's scary. Let's go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
So he just got his 20 out of the way.
You notice that when you use Finger of Death and you aim it at his back, the blood or vein shines again as it reacts to your spell. Funny enough, it did roll a 1, but you notice that as it shines, the blood or vein is acting as a protectant, and it rolled with advantage, and it got a nat 20.
What?
God.
It got both.
All right. All right.
And so it's going to take half damage. 78 plus 30? How do you have Finger of Death
7th level.
at level 13?
Yep.
No, there's no, wait. You have Finger of Death at level 13?
So it's a 7th level spell. So warlocks get one 6th level spell and one 7th level spell once you
my
hit this. So,
Damn.
so it would have done 62 damage, but it now takes half of that. So 31.
You see as the blood or vein shines, it almost protects it from the Finger of Death. You see that it rears and roars in pain. Its eyes shine high up into the sky as its skin on its fleshy underbelly begins to split and crack open as blood spews out from underneath it. Minnis, Anma, and Drell are covered in this tealish blood. However, it is still alive, but it looks badly wounded. You see that the Finger of Death has caused a large gash from the middle of its neck down all the way down to its underbelly, and it's pouring out this thick tealish blood. And Reginald goes, "That was pretty metal. I'm not gonna lie, I'm almost. That's cool. That's a good one." And he fist bumps you. And then we'll move to initiative 14, which is this very bloody blood or dinosaur. As you see, it rears its head up into the sky, similar to when you first encountered it. You see the clouds begin to change as it points its head straight back up, as the blood or vein begins to shine bright, as you see it begin to glow, and it is going to roar, and a red beam shoots out of its long neck. You can see it highlight from the wound that you just caused, and it shoots a beam up into the sky, effectively changing the cloud color to bright red. I'm gonna need everybody to make me a dexterity saving throw of a DC 17.
No.
Ugh, fuck. I got 5.
Armos, I need you to make it a disadvantage because you are still exhausted.
I reroll at ones.
Oh my god. I got 2 5s, so you can pick which one you want.
Ministry rolls on ones.
I rolled terribly. I got a 15.
You can use my Indomitable. No, just
Could use that Bardic.
Everybody except Drell, who passed, is going to take 59 points of force damage as these giant red balls of energy within a 500-foot radius begin to fall from the sky as its red beam connects to the clouds, and you see these massive red energy balls and exploding, leaving craters onto the floor with catatonic force. That's gonna be its turn. As you see the duration of its turn, as these giant balls of red energy fall and crash into the ground, you see the blood shards on its back are pulsating with energy, and it's spending its entire turn just raining down these massive energy attacks.
Real quick. So I got downs, but my gift of the protectors got me back up to 1 hit point.
Oh shit, so Armos, you go down as this giant red ball crashes onto you, and you fade to black, and you find yourself in the midst of Bayloon. You see yourself falling into the blood ocean as you are knocked down, and then this silhouette of a massive demon scoops you up in the middle of the air with 7 beautiful evil wings, and he goes, "I got you, buddy," and pops you back up to 1 hit point. We're gonna move to initiative 13. Minnis.
All right, we got to keep working at this, Anma. Let's get at it. And I'm going to shoot at it with Melora's sling with advantage because of Drell's distraction. And that's going to be a 28 to hit on the first one, and a 29 to hit on the second one. That's going to do 20 points of damage from Melora's sling, plus 7 points of damage from my Hunter's Mark and the SIDS.
You shoot the sling and its knees buckle. As you see, it's like now limping on the floor. It's trying to hold itself up, but it's practically laying down at this point. Its whole body is limp. However, its neck is still erect up at the sky, shooting this massive laser in a trance-like state. And it's the only thing that seems to have like any source of functionality. There's no other words for me to use in this scenario.
I'm just picturing the laser collection face on this fucking dinosaur.
But you see like its massive dinosaur legs are buckling, and it's trying to hold itself up. It's like slowly laying down onto its side.
Bloodshard dinosaur, blah! Anma, I've got it down. Finish this.
And you see Amma is just like bashing its club into its underbelly where the giant gash is, and you see all this blood coming out, and she's like wailing on it. Sure hits. It's damaging the wound. You notice that there isn't any bone to hit, but you do see some rock inside, as if she's hitting the blood shard that's like inside of its body. And we're gonna move to initiative 4. Drell.
So the thing is still alive?
It's still shooting a giant laser out of its mouth into the sky, and it's looking up. It looks like it's in a trance almost.
So is there any way that I can specifically try to like cut its head off so it stops doing that?
It's still slightly standing. It's like collapsing. It's trying to maintain its composure. The base of its neck is like 40 feet away from you, and the top of its head is almost like 150 feet into the sky.
So I'm just getting the sense that it's like getting ready to charge another thing that it just did to us.
It's still firing it.
Oh, okay. I guess can I just make a perception check to see if there's anything that like a cave or something I can take cover at?
Sure.
Because I just don't even really know how to stop it. Okay, so that's gonna be I'm gonna use my Bardic on this. Nice. 21.
21. You do not see any caves from your immediate position. You're in a pretty wide open valley with some high bushes. As you see yourself being attacked from above, you notice that this thing has a giant wound in it, and you could probably hide inside of its body like a tauntaun.
Nice.
But this thing is like buckling, and it's trying to hold itself up.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to look at Reece and be like, I guess we gotta go in this thing. And then I'm gonna like do some hand signals to Minnis and Armos to like indicate that's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna make my way to the wound of the animal.
We gotta go in the thing?
Yeah.
And you see he's shocked, his face drops as like the loot hits a sour note real quick.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to stay out here and get fucked up again. I mean, shit.
Yeah, it looks up and it's like, noted. And then he like looks like he's gonna try to move once you're done here.
Cool.
So you can use your movement to get inside of it.
Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna pop my head out of the the wound of the animal and be like, "Don't worry, Armos, you got this." And I'm gonna rally Armos.
Oh my god.
You climb inside as the like dinosaur buckles at the right time. You like grab its flesh flap. Oh, the words I'm using today. You grab its flesh flap and you climb on in.
Bro, please use like wound. Like, don't use flesh flap, please, for the sake of God. That is so, and then that is gonna be 5 or 4 more HP to Armos.
5 HP.
4. You have 5 total now. Hey, it's better than nothing, bro.
Sure.
Nice.
Okay. You see Reece takes your lead as you see he starts to play some intense running music to try to give himself a speed boost, and then he's going to, as he's like running, he's dashing, and then and he appears next to you inside the dinosaurs. It looks like he teleported.
Can't wait to hear the dashing music in the.
And you guys are covered in this teal blue blood, and he's like trying to move out of the way. He's like stepping in. He's mate. I've been a lot of places. But this. And you see he's like dry heaving.
Scoot over. It's fine. Just blow your nose. You can't even tell.
It's
nice. It's just a nice warm cave. It's fine. It's fine.
And we're gonna move to initiative 18. Armos.
Oh god. How far away is his back from me?
He's
Would you
buckling.
say?
His body is 30 feet from you.
30 feet.
The monster itself is 30 feet from you.
Perfect. All right. Well, I got 2 things I can do. I'm either gonna attack it or I'm just gonna go for the gold here. Just seeing that I got downed and that I feel like Armos isn't gonna have much much else here shortly. He starts running to the monster until he's in range of his back to Misty step onto his back, swinging his tome onto the Bloodshard on his back. See what happens.
There's a lot going on here.
Last ditch effort.
I'm gonna let you do it, but I'm gonna need you to roll to hit, and you're gonna use an improvised weapon attack, if you will.
Oh god.
Because you're running 30 feet, misty stepping, trying to land on this thing's back that's wildly moving. However, I'm not going to ask you to do a dexterity saving throw or anything. I'm going to ask you to try to hit the massive blood,
Okay.
blood or vein with your tome.
Okay. I got some tricks. Unarmed strike, so I get +4 to that.
What a roll.
I got a 22.
You run, dash, poof. You see Reginald holding on to holding on to your shoulder as the bottom part of his body flaps in the wind and goes, do it almost. As his eyes ignite, your devil's sight is going off. And then a giant red flash blinds you as your tome connects. Boom, a flashing red light blinds the 3 of you as the tome connects to the blood ore. A crackle of raw energy echoes throughout the valley. Suddenly, the sound of an ocean, with thick blood waves crashing against a stoic stone pillar in the middle of it all. A blue stream of energy trails over your head, Armos. Behind you is the well, with your tome floating at the top of it. The blue energy from the tome streams high in the blood red sky towards a bluish tealish moon, empowering all the energy of blood shards. The sound of thick stone echoes as the bridge before you extends further and further towards the black silhouette castle in the distance. And then finally, it stops. It's not fully there, but you feel like it's almost complete. Look around you and you see Reginald in this giant demon silhouette form with 7 wings looking at you. He is so massive that the lower part of his body is in the blood ocean, where he's looking at you at eye level, and then you appear back on the material plane. To Minnis and Drell, it felt like all of this happened within an instant. Upon waking up, there is a large dead carcass of a long-necked dinosaur collapsed, laying on the ground, motionless. It looks hollow, as there is now a gaping wound in the back of the dinosaur where the blood ore was completely removed from. Armos, you are still knocked out as you're starting to come through. As your sight comes to, you see Reece and Alma rubbing their eyes. There is a very happy Reginald in perfect loaf form on top of Armos' tummy, almost singing to himself as he feels rejuvenated as the blood ore vein has been absorbed into Armos' tome. We are officially out of combat, and the blood ore dinosaur is officially dead as its body collapsed, the laser breaks, and is now lying motionless on the floor. Woo! Drell, Reece, you get out the other side as now there's a massive hole in its spine, and you are able to walk out easy. Armos, you are no longer exhausted.
Hey.
As you come to, and Reginald is singing to himself as he's in perfect bunny loaf form. You don't see his legs or anything. It's just like a black ball of fuzz with his head bouncing up and down.
Ugh, this was a messy fight as I flicked teal blood off myself.
Yeah, real messy. And I started shaking my hands with all the goop that's still on us.
Why'd you go inside the dinosaur, Drell?
I don't know. It was Reese's idea. He was just like, oh, let's go in there. I just was like, why are we going to do that?
It was whose idea?
It doesn't make any sense.
You see he teleports and like all the blood that was on him, he teleports so fast that the blood that was dripping on him remains motionless and then falls to the ground as he like teleports out of it to clean himself off.
Oh, I can learn how to do that. Huh, Sid?
Me.
All right, Alma, let me down. Let's take a look at this dino.
And Reginald's singing, and Alma, you see that she wipes some blood off her forehead and then gingerly lets you down. She goes, oh, tough fight. Fun fight. And then she looks over to Reece and goes, Reece, and then runs over and picks him up and like squeeze and bear hugs Reece, and Reece is like, Alma, I miss you too. I miss you too, Alma. And you hear like a couple of bones crack.
Oh, now she remembers his name. Nice. Okay.
Knock some sense into him.
Reece. Yeah, nice to meet you. So you're part of the RGBT club, the LMFAO. What are you part of?
He goes, all right, Alma, let me down. And then she lets go and he falls about 3 feet. And then like, you see that he teleports in place to like not bust his ass. And you see that like, this is how he moves. It's teleporting to him is almost natural. And as he looks over to you, Minnis, and then looks around and at the dead dinosaur, the three of you notice that there are emerald raptors in the area coming up from various bushes. And they're looking at the group of you, and they're like running towards the two large dead dinosaurs, the T-Rex that the Bloodshard dinosaur was eating, and the now dead blood ore vein dinosaur. And it looks like they start eating the remains. There's about 8 emerald raptors there, and they seem to ignore you and are just now enjoying their newfound dinner, it seems.
All right, as long as they're leaving us alone, they can eat as much as they please.
Can I go up and try to pet one?
Give me an animal handling check.
Okay, oh, fuck yeah, I got this. Wait, Reece, can you play another song for me real quick?
Why would I play you a song?
Oh, let's go, dude. That's a dirty 20.
Oh my god, hold on. I gotta roll for this thing.
Drell, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Minnis, it's fine. I'm an animal person, okay? I know.
I mean, don't you remember what happened
It's
with
kind of a thing.
I mean,
It's kind of a thing, Armos.
Yeah, it's cool.
Minnis, you guys gotta just trust me.
You extend your hand out, and you see that's all has this teal blood all over its maw as it's going to town. It's eating. It's having the time of its life, and it looks at you and it like sniffs your hand, and you curl your fingers up to make a nice knuckle so it smells you to get its scent. And you go, and it rears its teeth and then sniffs you again and nuzzles your closed fist.
Nice. See, Minnis, I told you I could do this.
Yep, good job. I give him a very shaky thumbs up. Wasn't worried at all.
I know it's already eating, but I pull out some rations and I hand it to it.
It ignores it and goes right to the raw meat in front of it.
Pick up some raw meat and tell it to sit.
Oh, yeah, okay. I cut off a piece of, like, super bloody, juicy meat, and I walk over
Yeah,
to
the
it.
fatty part right there.
Give me an animal handling check.
Okay, I can do this. Reese, are you playing the song or what, dude?
I'm
Jeez.
I'm tuning. And you see that he's like messing with the lute. He's like looking at Anma.
Luck point. Luck point.
Luck point.
17.
Hey.
You see, you catch its attention. You cut off a piece of meat and you're waving it in front of its face and like you're going to give it and teasing it, snatching it away. And then you see it spins and it's like waiting. You have its attention.
I throw it up in the air so they try to catch it like Air Bud.
You see that another two come by and they try to jump up and catch it, but the one you're playing with catches it first and like swallows it whole.
Nice.
Chews on it, swallows it, and now it's looking at you.
Is it big enough for me to try to ride?
It's about the size of Armos.
Fuck.
Now it's like pointing at the dead body. It's like trying to get you to cut another piece off.
All right, I'll sit there and keep feeding it while everyone else does
See, okay. So you're now like cutting pieces of meat off for this emerald raptor, and you are throwing it up to the air, and you are now making friends with it. It seems to be friendly towards you. As Reece and Alma are now reunited, and they dust themselves off, and you see that Reece is looking at Alma. Alma's down on one knee, and Reece is examining her wounds and her head bumps, noticing the various bald spots and the damaged armor. You see Reece is like consoling Alma, being very friendly to her, but he looks a little worried. You've been roughed up a little too much out here. I think we should get you home. No, I can keep going. Mission. All right. You see that he plays like a song, and he's trying to magically mend her wounds.
Oh, that's lovely there, Reece. So yeah, about this mission, by the way, what exactly were you sent here for?
Right. Yes. It seems like you already know my name. My name is Reece. I'm part of the LBST, the Lord Baron Scout Troop. We were tasked with the mission to find a capable blacksmith for the Sigil College Guild to craft some weapons. We need somebody very talented, and so we have been stationed here in the Kambuki Isles, going from town to town, following various leads, and hopefully trying to find someone who can satisfy the guild's needs.
Yes, of course. Yes, we're on a similar quest from Lord Baron, so seems our interests align.
Interesting. Anma and I have been out here for better part of half a year now.
Wow. Oh,
And as you can see, we've been in a couple of squabbles, and some of us have been hit more than others. And then you see Anma. Anma's like sitting down, crisscross applesauce, and she's like playing with like a little butterfly that happens to be like going past her view. It's very innocent, but you can see that she suffered some serious head trauma while she was here.
yeah. I love your friend. She's lovely, but I think definitely gonna need her to go back and get some proper attention.
Yeah, a matter of fact, that's what we were doing. We were following a lead from a nearby town, and
Oh,
we're hoping that we can get two birds with one stone. We were heading back to the Aramore ports when we got separated a few nights ago, thanks to this guy. It seems that this large dinosaur here was awoken a few days ago from one of the large earthquakes. We thought that it had caused it, but we determined that it wasn't. He wasn't the source of it, but rather an outcome of it. So ever since that earthquake happened, I've been trying to get back to Anma here since we had fallen off the cliff, and then this thing has been kind of just been in my way ever since. Between dodging it and its massive size, the other dinosaurs you've seen running around here, and he points to the emerald raptors and the dead T-Rex that it was eating. It seems like I wasn't able to catch a break until now.
well, it's a good thing you ran into us, or rather, we ran into you.
Very fortunate.
So, I think maybe we can maybe band together here. Sounds like you got a good lead. Would this lead happen to be towards the Kambuki fighting pits, towards Tame Mordain, towards...
We've been here for 6 months and we have yet to find the fighting pits. It was something we've been looking for. However, no one seems to be willing to give up that information willingly. It doesn't seem like a very savory part of the Isles.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Well, we're heading to San Lo right now. Maybe you should join us.
Oh, I was there recently, the last month or so. We did go there. We did have a lead there. They weren't very helpful outside of basic trading. I don't know if you know much. I mean, it seems like you might. It's a Minotaur city. They tend not to trust outsiders too much. And he looks at Drell and he looks at Armos.
Well, they are one of my kind, so I think if you give me the info, I can get you in. And I wink at him.
Reece has you see like a visible sweat drop, and he goes, well, I don't think they'd take too kindly to you either.
Huh? Why?
Well, you're not from there.
What?
It's more of like an inclusivity thing, you know?
Yeah, but like I'm still Minotaur, and we're just, different tribes from different areas, all from the same
Tribes, yes.
Creator.
Let's stick with tribes. You don't really quite fit the description of the average Minotaur there. Then they might look at you a little weird.
What do you mean?
Well, they're kind of favored to their own kind of Minotaurs, of at least
Squint.
those that are more height capable.
Hi.
What do you mean? Minnis can get super high. Minnis do the thing with Sid, and then
Oh yeah, watch this. Sid, bonus action. Boom. And I start floating.
And you start to float up. And he goes,
I just got a brain blast. Sid, what if we get a trench coat and put you all under while you're floating?
That's actually amazing. I love that idea. That could work. Hey, listen, I mean, you can go there. They're not gonna kick you out. However, they are reserved when it comes to those who are not from Sandlow. They may treat certain outsiders maybe a little more favorably. Maybe if you had some other Minotaurs with you, perhaps from your clan, that might fit in. However, other tribes tend to not sit well with them either. They're really just about themselves.
All right, well, tell me about this lead, and I'll see what I can do anyways.
Oh, yes. You said Lord Baron sent you, right?
Oh, that's correct.
He's doing an insight check on you.
Armos, papers.
You see that, like, he stares you down.
Armos is still on the ground.
Yeah, you're just coming through. Reginald's like,
Stop making grass angels and come over here.
Reginald's just saying, he's like, it's Bloodshard Day, gonna get us some Bloodshard Day. Souls.
Oh, too much. I have a headache. This is too much.
No, Armos, you feel great.
Amazing.
Don't worry, we got a letter from Lord Baron. Armos,
What?
he's checking me out. I need your letter.
Here.
Give me a sec. I trot over. I like scamper over to Armos and I pick up the letter. Thank you.
Admiral and Reece look at each other and then look back.
Here it is.
He takes the letter. Drell, animal handling check.
oh fuck, you guys, what are you guys doing? That's 12.
It got a 3. You see that this particular emerald velociraptor is now full and you are cuddling with it.
Their name is Ruby.
Ruby the Emerald Velociraptor.
Oh, that makes no have fun.
Well, it was either that or Sapphire, and I thought it was said like a stripper if that was her name, so I changed it.
This emerald velociraptor named Ruby is quite smitten with you. And Reece takes the papers and he goes, oh, this is great news. Okay, yeah, I can absolutely share information. Perhaps we can further exchange if you happen to find something. I have a few leads here. Our initial lead was kind of a dud. We spent a good amount of time on it. He hands you back the paperwork, and he has a journal for himself, and he begins to go through it with various notes. And he goes, we were originally looking for a drow elf named Sendrin Glanove. Yes. We were looking for a drow elf named Sendrin. Now, we knew this might have been a far-fetched lead, but it's possible that there could have been a passageway to the Underdark here where we could have found Sendrin. We haven't had any luck finding the Underdark. We do know that Sendrin may come up as other blacksmiths need supplies. However, around our 3rd month, we discovered a rumor of a young dwarven apprentice, and we didn't pay too much attention to this rumor at the time. However, the more blacksmith tradesmen that we've encountered in our travels, they have mentioned this same dwarven apprentice, this young dwarven child. And how it caught our attention is that he seemed very rudimentary in his knowledge. However, he had a very peculiar item that all of these tradesmen were mentioning. And we thought it was a little too coincidental that all of these tradesmen would describe such a tool. It was like a golden blacksmith's hammer. And then the ornate gems on the side of it seemed to be those matching of what a fairy tale. We think people exacerbated these rumors a little bit, but we kept hearing the same description over and over again, and we started to hide out at various trade posts to see if this dwarven child would come out. However, we've learned in the last 2 months of tracking him, he's never in the same trading post twice. The materials he's picking up seem common enough for a blacksmith, yet maybe beyond his skill level. Like he's picking up obsidian and hard to work with metals, way out of an apprentice skill level at least.
Wow. And where do you expect to find this person?
Well, that's the thing. The towns we've been to, Sanlo, Taimodane, the various ports around the island, some wandering trade posts. There are, surprisingly enough, Anma's been quite at home here when she remembers. There's a lot of stone giants and they're a bit of craftsmen themselves. He points to one of the symbols on Anma's vestment, and there is a sigil for Scoreus stone bones. That's the god she worships, which is the god of craftsmanship, as you may know. And the Kambuki Isles is full of these wandering stone giants that craft, and that's how they pray to their god. They craft to Scoreus and they build stuff. They build things. And the few giants that we had the pleasure of speaking with have also met this dwarven child. The peculiar part that we cannot figure out is that we think that he's on his tail, yet he is miles ahead of us. He seems to be traveling at breakneck speeds. It seems we can never quite catch up to him.
I look at Minnis and I hold up the lantern. Maybe?
Yeah. Probably using that.
You see Reece looks at the fell Ogburn. Passage between the fell. That's a very interesting hypothesis.
Well, I tell you, this news of a hammer is pretty wild as well. You see, we already found a golden hammer we brought to Lord Baron. So the fact that there might be another one is wild to me.
So he flips through his pages and he shows you a golden hammer from the descriptions he's been matching. And it looks almost identical to the one that you delivered to Lord Baron. And matter of fact, the only difference, because there's some color, is that the socketed gems on this particular hammer are icy blue. While the hammer you delivered to Lord Baron was red. You know that as the Ignis hammer. And Reece goes, this is known as the Galadus hammer. It is part of a set.
How do you spell that?
Galedus.
Oh my goodness. Armos, look at this. And without even asking, I tear the paper from him and show it to Armos. Armos, look at this.
He's pulling leaves out of his hair.
It's blue. It's like the good shards.
Oh, yeah.
His fingers are in his mouth. He's dragging his lower jaw down. He's ripping leaves out of his hair.
Give me a second. And I stick it under a page of my own notebook and trace really hard over it. All right, here you go. You can have it back.
He takes the ripped paper. He goes, oh, my book, my journal. You know what? You're not supposed to rip pages out of a book because now it's gonna even, and now the spine is gonna. I need a whole new book.
See, almost look right here. He said these are blue, and I'm not even paying attention to Reece. And basically the other one we got was a red shard, monstrosity that they were trying to recreate.
As Reece wipes up his comedic tears, as he's trying to put it back where he found it, he goes, well, let's just say that this is the exact hammer that was found on the dwarven child. Well, there are two of them. And they're known as Rinth hammers. Rinth is a famous dwarven blacksmith, alive many, many years ago before all of our times here, and he created, weapons of legend. And there's the Galadus hammer and the Ignis hammer. And if you have both of these, legend says you can create very powerful weapons.
Oh.
So, if you've recently found one, and now we're hearing rumors of a dwarven child having one, maybe it's Rin's child or some family member. I mean, I don't even know how you would find that hammer. I don't even know how they would find that hammer. we don't know that Rinth had ever had any kids.
Right.
At least from, child stories, sure, but if Rinth had children, I'm sure there would be stories of them.
Whew. Well, this is big news to us. It's good to know this. Are there any other leads you have that might help us on our journey?
Yeah, well, he has a name. We have a first name. He's like a child as far as dwarves go. He's probably mid-20s, relatively young. His name's Dwark.
Dork.
Dork?
Dwark.
Doric.
DWORIC.
Yes, that's exactly who we're looking for.
Doric the dwarf.
Doric, yeah. Oh, wait, and he goes to his notes and he realizes like a ... as he wrote on the next page. He goes, oh, yes. Oh, this can't be right. We got a Dwark Burnsley.
Burnsley?
Yeah, apparently, child from a reputable farmstead back in South Trillis.
Oh, we know the farmstead. Armos, ain't that the, farmstead where Duncan went off to?
I think so.
Reece looks puzzled at the name Duncan.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Okay, take your word for it.
Oh, wait a sec. I ripped that page out of his book and put it next to mine. I write down Doric Burnsley, then I put it back. There you go.
You rip an extra page and he goes, oh, I'm gonna need a new book. It's gonna unfurl.
Oh, you need a new book? I have like 10 extra, and I pull one of mine out of my cart, and I hand one to him. There you
Takes
go.
it and he actually like bonks you on the head with it.
Ah! Why?
As a journal enthusiast, you should know to never rip out pages. That's how they ruin. The spine unfurls, the edges flap, it never stays aligned,
It
and
is?
pages slowly. Yes!
Oh. Interesting. I thought it was just like we all share notes, and that's how you do it. I never shared notes before, so that's new to me.
You rip pages out of a book?
Don't rip out other journal enthusiasts. Okay, that's good news to me. I'm sorry, I don't get out much, so this is like my first time adventuring. I'm learning all kinds of new things.
Well, that's where we've been.
Cool.
I plan to keep searching. Things are gonna be a little difficult without one of the guard troop. I'm gonna send Anma back home, back to the City College. Perhaps
Good.
they can help her with her injuries.
Yes.
My magic can only take me so far from her trauma.
Listen, are there any other troops we should be aware of? Because she's the LGTB.
The LBGT, the Lord Baron Guard
LBGT.
Troop. Yeah,
And you're the...
LBST, the Lord Baron Scout Troop. So we...
God, how do you keep all those letters straight?
It's pretty straightforward. It's Lord Baron, the unit. Troop.
I got those two. There are no other ones?
Oh, there's the Army, but that's the LB...
Oh, the LBAD?
Yeah.
Right, Lord Baron's Army Division, of course.
That's the Lord... Oh, no, the LBGA, which is the Lord Baron Guild Army.
And the LBIG, the Lord Baron Intern Group. I met some of them. All right, good to know. I've written all 27 of these down. Nice. Can't wait to meet all these troops. Anyways, it seems like you're going to be helping Anma here get back, so... It's up to you. If you'd like to join us at any time, you're more than welcome. We're going to head on towards San Lo and see if we can make anything of your leads.
Okay. You see Reece takes out his journal and he's like gingerly turning the page, trying to not ruin his journal. Actually, he uses your new journal and he makes a new page. And he makes note of his conversation. You see he's taking like just as diligent of notes as you are. Very detailed. And he makes note that you're going to San Lo.
Oh my gosh, you use an asterisk too?
Of course. How else would I keep everything organized?
See, that's what I told Miranore, but he just made fun of me.
Miranore, and he takes out his older journal and goes, oh, yes, I met Miranore quite a couple of moons ago.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, we shared, what would we see? She flips through his page. Oh, yes, a wonderful bowl of oatmeal. He showed me how to make a wonderful breakfast. And he shows her the recipe that you have of the Miranore oats.
That's, fun fact, that's my recipe.
Yeah, he was wonderful. Some of them were
Yep.
kind of jerks, though.
But, wait, what do you mean? He was wonderful and the others were jerks.
Yeah, he seemed very full of himself, don't get me wrong, typical adventure type.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was one of them that seemed, they weren't necessarily mean, but it made me feel very unwelcomed. It was one of the girls in the troop.
What do you mean?
It seemed very rushy, very eager to go.
Oh, damn.
Probably wasn't the flower looking one that does all the nature spells, right?
No, it was the one of druid nature. Yeah, Flora.
Oh, fuck.
I tackle Reece to the ground. Don't you badmouth Flora! She's a wonderful human being! She's the light of the earth! I will not hear you talk to my friend like that!
Let go. Arma's clapping. Wrestle.
Sorry. I should get my stuff ready, and I just get off of him and go start packing my things.
Oh, what's his deal? And he looks over to Alma, and Alma goes, "You gotta use the move that I taught you. You gotta get on there. You gotta scoop the legs. You gotta scoop the legs." Reece rubs his head and goes and feels like he strung a chord. Looks over at Armos, and then Drell, who's like laying down next to Ruby, the emerald dinosaur. So he dusts himself off, and he walks back over to you, Minnis, and he goes, Well, if you're heading to Sandlow," he points off into a direction. He's like, "You're gonna want to head that way out of this valley. There is a spot where you can possibly rest. There is a friendly face just beyond the jungle thicket, not too far away. About 2 miles you'll have to travel once you leave through this valley."
Yeah, cool. We got a map already, so we got it covered.
Yeah, well, this gentleman is a bit off the he's off the grid, so to speak. You'll cross his path if you head that way. His name is Hubert Hubble. He's a hermit. He has his own little farm that he keeps to himself. Very, very friendly minotaur.
Yeah. Here, just write in my journal, and that'll be cool. And I kind of walk farther away and keep packing my stuff behind a bush.
He takes the hint and he writes down the information. He writes down the name Hubert Hubble, Hubble, and it's he writes down that it is a ranch-style farm. Looks like very self-sufficient type of place, and he writes very friendly. And he hands you back the book. And he goes, "Well, I will be around back to my search. I'm going to get Alma back home so she can get healed up, rest up, and hopefully join us back into the fight in the coming months. And hopefully, if you found any leads and we join paths again, then we can exchange information, seeing how we have a common goal."
Yep, journalist for life. And I give him a really lazy J.
Okay.
What is a lazy J?
If you don't know, you can't afford it.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Minnis. I hope to see you soon.
Hey, thanks for that.
Hands you that information, waves at Armos, and looks over to Drell, and he goes, "Well, I don't want to disturb you, although we did have a very, seems like intimate moment inside the dinosaur. It was a good plan, and luckily we didn't get too hurt. But we'll be on our way, but I'm sure our paths will cross again."
Yeah. Thanks for all the music, Reece. I really appreciate it. It was a good time.
And you see that he pulls out another lute as he hops onto Alma's shoulder, and Alma seems happily to carry him off as he plays a tune. And you see Alma begin to sing, and sing very well for a giant. And it's like, as the lute notes trail off to the beat.
Hold on, guys. You get the stuff ready. I'm going to be right back. And I run along into the woods, following them for a second. Amma! Hey, Amma! Hey, could you pick me up for a second?
Sure. And she picks you up and puts you on her other shoulder.
Sorry, next to Reece.
Oh,
I don't want to talk through your ear.
My bad. And puts them right next to you and pats the two of you on the head.
Huh.
Hey, Minnis.
Stop walking for a second. I'm not staying long.
Stop short.
Hey, sorry for, I don't know. I didn't mean to react like that. That was rude.
Trying times, traveling. I understand. I'm sorry if I said anything bad about your friend.
No, it's okay. You never know how people react during certain times, like you said. So maybe she's having a bad day, or who knows what was going on.
Like I just she seemed very rushed and kind of like trying to move everybody
no,
along.
It's fine. Listen, I got another question though.
Oh yeah, of course.
Why'd you say you liked Miranore?
Oh, I mean, he seemed very full of himself, but he just seemed like I don't know, kind of kind towards me. It didn't really think twice of it. The others kind of kept to themselves. Like I said, Flora was seemed impatient in some regard, and he was like bragging. He seemed a little.
Yeah, like I know Rudra can be pretty intense.
Yeah.
Miranore's friend, so I get that. But you liked? What was your favorite thing about Miranore?
I didn't like how hubris he was. He was like bragging a lot.
Yeah.
But he seemed like he wanted to help with us, but you know, he wasn't in the know like you are from Lord Baron. It seemed like he just he knew we were searching for somebody and he tried to take advantage of that and try to join us. Maybe he thought he'd fight another monster, but, you know, yeah, so Flora didn't mention your name.
Oh.
And he seemed confused at first when your name was mentioned. And it took her some doing to like remind him of you. And then he was like, oh, Minnis. And then like a flip of a switch, he became a jerk a little bit. He's like, oh, that guy, like he was talking about like a rival.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it's like,
Cool.
It was weird. It kind of like he forgot about you.
Nah, no, that's fine. I don't really care about that. I could care less if he forgets me. No, hey, sorry. Listen, I'm just gonna be candid. I don't like the guy, and he's never been fond of me and frankly nice to me in any way, so I just want to know why someone might have a good opinion of him, that's all.
Childhood rival.
That's an interesting word, but to me, he's just a bully. I don't... Huh. Hey, I gotta get going, so I'm gonna bounce.
So I'm gonna let you off, and then he turns around, he calls out to you as like you're walking away, and he goes, sometimes common passions can lead to hatred, and sometimes those react out of jealousy, and some would take actions too far. But if you have the same goal, then maybe it's not all bad as it may seem, and maybe a conversation could fix it rather than a fight.
Cool. Thanks, Reece. Bye, Anma. I hope you find your mind.
It's right here. And she points to her head. And she points to like a really bad like wound. It looks like.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yep. All right. Best of luck, Reece. Until we meet again.
Reece waves you off. He gives you like a 2-finger salute, and he takes out his lute, and he sings along with Amma. And you see he sings a tune almost related to the conversation you just had. It goes, friends of bounty, rivals galore, fighting to the edge until tomorrow's no more. And then sings off into the distance. And you feel like you have some bardic inspiration for a little while.
Lovely. And I give him a nice firm J before I leave. I drop my hand and I walk back to Drell and Armos.
Armos and Drell and Reginald are like sitting near each other near the dead body. You see a lot of happy emerald velociraptors, and they're all minding their own business, laying down. It looks like they're setting up their own version of a camp for the night, while Drell is like sitting on the floor, kind of laying on top of Ruby, and they're just like buddy pal.
Drell, are you okay? Why are your eyes watering?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you just the only one that's allowed to have a friend?
No, I'm very happy for you, but you seem are you hurt? You seem like you got a little teary-eyed over there.
Oh no, I'm fine.
Oh yeah?
We're just me and Ruby are hanging out.
Okay.
I think you got a very special friend. I mean, you all got special friends, almost.
Yeah, he just looks like he maybe has a few tears of joy over there.
Yeah, I mean, we have each other. We're special friends. Minnis just made a special friend. He's over there throwing out J's to other journalists. You know, now Drell's got a special friend. You know, we all need somebody.
Can I inspect the dinosaur now that I've come back?
Can we go loot the thing?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a investigation check.
All of us, right?
If you are touching it, sure.
I got a 5.
I got a 10.
Well,
all right, smart guy.
how much do we get?
What you got?
I got a 1.
Oh.
Even with your combined rolls, this body looks mutilated at this point, as the pack of emerald raptors have completely devoured this thing. You think that if this thing accidentally swallowed something of value, it might be in the bellies of one of the other emerald raptors nearby.
Well, Ruby, it's been a good run. No, I'm just kidding.
What'd you just say?
Nothing.
Almost put your finger gun down.
And he looks at Drell and looks back at you.
Let him have his moment. I don't want to keep it, but.
Okay, so there's nothing.
All right, Armos, let's try and get these shards off this dino over here, huh?
All right.
I feel like Drell should help us, but I don't.
No,
Wanna
it's
ruin
not
his
interrupted.
moment.
Here, and
Yeah.
I whip out my my finger, and it's like a welding tool with my firebolt cantrip, and I'm just gonna start trying to.
Give me a sleight of hand as you start to mine away.
14.
Okay.
I got a 15.
You managed to each get 10 pounds of sapphire,
Jeez.
raw sapphire.
All right, I'm gonna put 20 pounds of this in my cart.
Yeah, you hold that.
Boom, and you see that the cart wobbles. So it's starting to get dark out, and you're in the middle of an open valley next to some water. And it seems like the other emerald raptors that are not privy to Drell are like kind of like going back and forth, eating it, and like gonna hang out there until like it seems like the food goes away. Until there's not any more food there. What are the three of you doing?
That's a great question.
Well, do we know what direction we need to go?
You do. And Reece also pointed you in a direction of a possible resting place, a friendly face.
So I guess you guys want to go take a rest real quick, and then tomorrow we can just get back on the road, or what do you guys want to do? What time of day is it, I guess?
It's turning to night. It's evening. By the time you talked with Reece, chipped away at the T-Rex, you playing with the Emerald Raptor, and kind of catching your breath, it's starting to become nighttime. Because you were also traveling for a better part of the day before getting into this fight.
All right, Drell, time to say goodbye to your buddy. We got to get on the road.
Oh, what do you mean say goodbye?
You,
So you guys are just the only ones that get to actually bring people along with us. All right, man, it's time to say goodbye to Sid.
no, I mean, Sid, calm down. I mean, Reginald's bonded to Armos. You know,
Yeah, I kind of own this guy.
we are bonded, Sid and I, magically.
Yeah, and Ruby's
And,
bonded to me. I don't see the problem.
And that is a vicious, wild animal.
How dare you say that about her?
Whoa. He's right. I just don't like how he said it.
Reginald literally eats arms. Okay, so what is the difference?
They're already dead when I
Critical
eat them.
thinking.
Okay,
Armos,
well,
you take this. I'm gonna go back.
I'm sorry, because Ruby's not gonna make me sacrifice my soul into a book. So if anything, I feel like Ruby is better than Reginald.
After everything we've been through, Drell, after everything we've been through, the paths we shared, the foes we've slain, the times you ragged on Minnis together.
What?
What?
Oh, that is true. That was a good time.
Yeah.
The calisthenics we do when Armos doesn't want to wake up and we're both in the morning. You helped me lose the bunny fat, remember? You guys said I was getting too fat. You helped me work out. You could do me like this?
I remember saying that.
I forget.
You call me fat, Minnis.
I did not.
1,000 yards there.
When we sat down in Nova's cart, Drell just said you could lay off the hay. Whether I agreed is here nor there. All right. Anyways, Drell, do you want to maybe switch out Wolfie here with your raptor?
Oh, no. As much as I would like to bring Ruby. Okay, yeah, and you can call her by her name, Minnis. It's pretty disrespectful.
Oh,
What if we
sorry,
just kept
yes.
calling you Horseman? Pretty sure you
Sorry.
don't like that.
Nice to meet you, Ruby. And I try to pet Ruby.
Give me an animal handling check.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I want Ruby to just be an asshole to us the entire time.
I got a 19.
With
Can I
a
luck point other
22
people's roll?
No, but it rolled advantage on him, and it got a 22, and it snaps at you, and then looks smugly up, like it snuffs its nose at you, and then cuddles with Drell.
Yep, happy to have you too. Cool. Cool.
But I think Drell realizes that he doesn't want to take Ruby away from, her home. So he cuts off another piece of meat and he talks to Ruby and he goes, "All right, Ruby, Now look, all these other raptors, they can't think for themselves. So you have to lead them. And you can't do that if you come along with us, okay? So I have to leave you here to protect them.
She's giving you big doe eyes.
Just don't make this harder than it needs to be.
She takes a single step forward.
Ruby, please no. It'll be okay.
Bro, we said you could keep her.
No, but you're right.
Oh, now I'm
Where
right.
am I supposed to put a raptor? Where am I supposed to put a raptor, Miz? I can't just bring her along and then next thing you know,
She's gonna
we go somewhere she can't come and then
She's gonna have a weird
can't just
hankering
leave
for
her somewhere.
hands. It's just gonna be a whole thing.
so I spend the next I guess as long as it needs to be explaining to Ruby why she needs to stay and she can't come along with us.
After a long, heartbreaking conversation, you see a single tear drops from her eye, and as it touches the floor, it turns to emerald, and she turns away, goes back to her pack.
I'll never forget you, Ruby.
She gives you one solemn look back as the sun begins to set over the lake.
I pat the back of Drell's calf. I'm like, Drell, you gave Ruby some great words. She's gonna lead that pack to victory, I can tell.
I take the emerald that she cried out, and I fasten it to a string and give it to Drell as a memory.
An emerald necklace from Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. All right, how about we go find this Hubert Hubble guy?
How about we find a nice place to sit, have a campfire,
That's what this place is, though.
heal. I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
that.
they're on a farm.
Ugh. How far away is it?
I point on the map. It's like here.
It doesn't seem too far away, almost. He said it was nearby.
Oh God! All right, gotta warn you. If anything goes down, I'm running.
I look around at the dead dinosaurs. I look back at Armos. Armos, if anything goes worse than this, I will be shocked. I start walking.
So the three of you begin to walk northwestward out of the large valley, and you find yourself on a loose dirt path through some slightly loose trees as you seem to make your way following the map, and then you follow Reese's added instructions on the map. You traverse through the woods for some time, and then finally a clearing. You stop to look ahead of you as you clear through the jungle brush to see a house with a small farm in the middle of a thick jungle. The house looks to be a well-maintained ranch-style home with a modest patch of land surrounding it. The home has a large wraparound porch. Behind the home is a familiar gourd towering over the home. A large green pumpkin. Out on the veranda, you notice a large bovine sitting on a heavy-duty rocking chair wearing a straw hat. A minotaur wearing leather overalls rocking back and forth, holding a large crossbow on its lap with a large piece of hay sticking out of its mouth. The minotaur closely resembles a Highland cow. And that is where we're going to end this week's session.
Oh, it's a Scottish Minotaur. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not going to kid your host. It's definitely not Scottish because I can never do that accent in a million years.
Damn it!
Yeah, you got to, dude.
You gotta change his name to Hamish Hubble. If you know, you know.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll give you all his voice lines, and then you can voice it. I do have a voice for this guy. I kind of came up with him. I can't wait for you guys to meet Hubert. I'm like looking forward to this encounter for a while. But we'll talk about it more.
Encounter. Oh, we're gonna fight him.
Everything's an encounter, okay? I mean, if you want to fight him, he's got a big old crossbow sitting on a nice porch.
Freudian slip right there.
We just took down a 300-foot dragon or dinosaur.
It may or may not be a giant jug next to him with 3 Ys written on it.
3 Ys?
Little, yeah, 3 Ys. What else would it be?
X's?
That's porn, Minnis. No.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Well, this episode.
This episode is not safe for work.
It's gonna be questionable. That's the title of this one.
Be a nice big old spit pan, a little flomping, you know?
Cockett's crossbow. Get off my lawn.
I can't wait till you guys talk about it. I can't wait till you guys talk to him. It's great. And everything's an encounter, whether it be a conversation, like talking to Reece was an encounter. So we got a lot to talk about on the after show. I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
This episode was a lot of fun. Questionable dialogue.
From you, my dialogue was very clear.
Whoa. I don't know how to say long neck sticking up into the sky without saying right. I don't know. Listen, if you take it the wrong way, I don't know. I keep it PG-13. Y'all making it weird with the firm J's, okay? So I don't want to hear it.
J out.
Yeah. Does anybody have a recommendation before we close out this week's session?
Yeah. Go play Myst if you've never played Myst. Last year, they came out with an HD version where you can actually walk around and it's not point and click. If you haven't played Myst, it's one of the best puzzle games ever created, especially story-wise. So I revisited that and rekindled my love for that series. I finished Myst and Riven in the past week already, so I'm moving on to Myst 3 Exile.
Oh,
Did you do the green book?
Oh,
The secret ending?
I know the endings already, but yeah, I did the Green Book.
Nice.
That's the good ending. That's the proper ending, the Green Book. But there's a bad Green Book ending as well.
Yep.
the darker tinted green book. I never played the game. I don't know. There's Myst. I don't know. There's a Y in there somewhere. It's Myst with a Y, right? MYST.
It is.
Oh, come around full circle. With the Y's. Okay. All right. That's where we're going to end this week's session. We're going to move on to our Patreon supporters. Thank you for all the support and everything in between. And we'll catch you next week. Say goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.
And now it's time to shout out the Patreon supporters. Starting with the Bloodshard Bandits. First up is Amanda, aka Morgan Ulthil. Morgan pursues her quest within the Underdark. After finding a gold amulet floating in the water, she soon realizes her search may reach its end. Jumping over pits and large cracks in the dark caverns, she's not avoiding any danger. She's following large imprints, footsteps of a giant. But what giant in the Underdark leaves crater-sized footprints? Morgan's fox companion is hot on its scent. Next up, we have Artemis, and Artemis finds himself in the center of a busy city, the city of Aramor. Artemis has visited every alchemist shop and magic bookstore in town with no luck of finding Cammy Joe. Deciding to take a break, Artemis stops at a nearby tavern for some lunch, a local spot named the Wild Side Tavern. To his surprise, Cammy Joe is in that very tavern, and he seems to be the popular one, smitten by two barmaids. Very suspicious. And just outside Aramor City is our next Bloodshard Bandit member, Ash, aka Rocco the Croco. It's been 1 week since Rocco has left his tribe. As he travels through the swampy lands of the Riverwood Forest, he finally makes his way to Capitol Road, a major road that connects the town of Gilo, Dilmore, and Aramor City. Unknown to him which way is west, he heads east. As he travels this lonely path, he can't help to think about the last conversation he had with his brother, and the last words he said, and those were, "See you later, alligator." To his brother's reply, "Not in a while, Croco. Dial." Next up is Benjamin the Dread Hayes, or should I say, Baby Dread. This fellamental's now dreaming of his former younger self. The drow boy, walking hand in hand with his mother, reliving a fond memory, a fun day in the Underdark by the crystal shores in the luminescent bellow. Upon returning home, a savage green flame can be seen. His home in turmoil. And high above the Underdark is our next Bloodshard Bandit member, Dana, aka Alara Dawnstar. Face to face with the gem thief, running and sprinting, Alara dashes through a set of fast closing doors, delivering a high kick to the thief, holding the sacred purified gem. A face is revealed from the devastating blow. Who could it be? A familiar face? Not to Alara, but to us, it's Julius Kendrick. And speaking of, here's our next Bloodshard supporter, Julius Kendrick, a tatted up wizard, his skin a tapestry of ancient words and phrases, a flesh shrine to his powers and beliefs as he stares down Alara Dawnstar. With red in his eyes, firmly grasping the purified gem, he hopes to redeem himself within the Red Dawn with this legendary relic. Our next Bloodshard Bandit member is Dylan Snyder, aka Reece. After a close call at a local Kabuki tavern and dodging some cultists, who knew he could fail successfully? Flirting with the wrong woman did lead to a cultist lead. But now that he is safe, he continues his search for his friend. He is truly worried about her. She could be a giant klutz sometimes. And speaking of klutzes, we move on to Reigns, our next Bloodshard Bandit member. At the demise of a death slot, splash, his body falls into a puddle of sewage water. A scared Reigns looks up at this horrifying frog-like beast. The last thing Reigns remembers seeing is the frog transforming into something scarier than he could ever imagine. The slot turned into him. The slot quickly rummages through the former Reigns' pockets to learn about his identity and steals it. And lastly, we have Ryan Green, aka Rommel, and Rommel has been busy on the Kabuki Isles. This wooden woad is dedicated to the truth from long ago. You see, Rommel noticed something very strange the moment he arrived on the Kabuki Isles, specifically with its soil. He notices the stone on the island mimics the trees in terms of life here. Only if you could communicate with the rocks. Now we move on to the Sidget College alumni. And first up is Andrew Hall, our first Sidget College alumni member, and he is deep into his wizardly summer school courses, and boy is it brutal. Mostly because the classrooms are hot and the Ray of Frost conditioner is broken. Determined to pass, he can't possibly spare a spell slot to fix it. Our next member is Sakajewa, and there's a quote that's truer to him than ever before. If you build it, they will come. And Sakajewa has finished his Rocket Boot League arena, and the fans are pouring in. He has already sold out tickets for his first game at the end of the month. Our next alumni is Patrick Wennerstrom, and this punk just played his first show in the town of Gilo, and it was a hit! However, the local town Red Guard did not find it amusing. After starting a riot and destroying Gilo property, they attempted to arrest Patrick, but Patrick was all like, yeah, whatever. Robert Crisp is next, and he is feeling down as the Sidget College did not grant additional funding to his Baguette Colony project. Desperate for some cash, he picked up a side job at a local bakery to earn some extra bread. And speaking of extra bread, our next member is Saint Chaos, a former Sidget College student turned rich prisoner entrepreneur, as his toilet wine industry has seen a large boom in business. So much business that he's begun outsourcing to local nearby towns. His courier rats sure are speedy after some toilet wine. And scooting in next is our next Sidget College alumni member, Scoot Doot. Scoots seems to be surprising everyone with his doots, but not all doots appreciate scoots. You see, the Lucius Farmstead, there's a firm policy about dooting when you should scoot and scoot when you should doot. Please message us with some character information. We can't keep this up forever. Next up is Sly, a were raccoon. Sly is currently hiding at a local bar and seems to have live music. Jazz music specifically. Something doesn't seem right. He has never heard of the Wildside Tavern before. And now we move on to Humbraya's heroes. Abdul Rahman had just finished brewing another anti-theft potion, but alas, when he went to go retrieve it, it was stolen. Oh, what bad luck. But what luck indeed, as Alex Dredd returns into the store. Shocked and angered by the recent stolen anti-theft potion, he sets out to find a lead to whom the culprit may be. The first suspect on his list is Caleb Schneider, who is currently dueling Johnny Tarr. A neck-to-neck fight as swords clash between the two heroes. Another onlooker seems to take interest in the duel. Nefarious Ducarius, who smells suspiciously like rare potions. However, it seems impossible to steal from him. And then we move on over to the town of Dillmore, to a little glass shop. Shattered and broken, it seems that someone had trashed Man with Glasses' new store. A bell jingles as Captain Dandelion enters the recently robbed store. As he takes a report of the broken and stolen goods, he informs Man with Glass of a new anti-theft potion that is being sold in a nearby town. But fear not, as business should boom again, as a new Rocket Boot League arena has been built. Buying the last two tickets to its sold-out matches are Odimel and Nubs, two longtime members of the Rocket Boot League. Nubs aspires to play in the Pro League one day. Odimel encourages Nubs to never give up. That's all for this week's Patreon supporters. If you would like to join this amazing cast of heroes and be shouted out yourself, go over and click that Patreon link down below and subscribe to one of our amazing, fruitful, and rewardful tiers. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.